This time I'd like to call to order the West Baton Rouge Parish Council meeting for Thursday, September 25th, 2025. I'd ask everyone to silence any electronic devices that you may have in your possession. For opening prayer, I ask Councilman Atlee Walker to lead us in the opening prayer, and afterward, Pledge of Allegiance, our assessor, Mr. Chris Garian.
Lord, your word tells us to stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Christ has made us free. Lord, your word tells us that where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Lord, my prayer today is that the men and women of West Baton Rouge Parish, men and women around our country, and men and women around the world experience this liberty and freedom in you. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Place flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilman Walker. Thank you, Chris. Moving to council log-in attendance. Good to go, Michelle. May the record show we have a quorum. Moving to item 5, minutes approval. A, approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of September 11th, 2025. If everyone's had a chance to look over those minutes, I have a motion by Mr. Crowe, second by Mr. Andre to approve the minutes. I'm going to open the machines and vote for approval. Minutes are approved. Moving to item 6, consider any amendments to the agenda, and we have none. Moving to item 7, Parish President's Report. Mr. Jason Manola.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm just going to go over a couple of things here, and I know Mr. Burgoyne is going to go over a lot of the projects that we have ongoing right now. Just some of you, or most of you, probably heard about the statewide 911 outage that was across the state, many different locations. Just saw them just now, Channel 9 released that all are back up and running again. There was supposedly a cut fiber line, but it is up and running. We were impacted by it also, but what we did is we set up a separate line that they could dial into, which was 225-490-8589. Gave people another way to get in should something like that happen. But as of just a few seconds ago, it looks like everything is up and running, working okay. We're continuing with our department budgeting meetings. I think we just finished the last department one, and then we're going to kind of get together and look at it at an overview prior to coming to you guys for the presentations. We have Mayor Luncheon this week, where we also had other officials in the parish. Sheriff was there, assessor was there, and other folks. The superintendent was there. But just had a real good luncheon. Just talked about a little bit about the drainage tax renewal and so forth, and how it impacts all of us, all the municipalities and everybody included, school board, everyone. And then the last thing I was going to mention is that, and we got drainage department in here. We got a pretty good size project at LA Scrap where we're putting down some additional culverts. So just wanted to mention that, and if anybody has any questions, I'll be glad to answer. Yes, sir.
415 connector.
Yep.
Do we have an update, or do we have some issues over there?
We have, Brandon was actually at a meeting this morning, yesterday. This morning. Give him updates you want on 415. Yeah.
So, I sat in on the task force meeting that the design team and DOTD set up. Essentially, the new project manager kind of finally got a grip on the full project, and noticed some issues that kind of needed to be ironed out. So the meeting was basically going over those issues and trying to kind of handle and mitigate them. They've still been progressing with like the 30% plans that I kind of mentioned the last couple of meetings. Essentially, for the CMAR project, you have the engineer quantities, the construction team that does the project has their own quantities, and then you have a third party that reviews the plans with no input at all, comes up with their own quantities, and then everybody sits together, agrees on one number for every pay item, and that gives you an updated construction cost. While all that's going on, they want to basically iron out these other issues in the meantime. So I've been sitting in on most of the meetings in the past month, probably less than that even, just trying to give the parishes input and keep things moving forward, and trying to stay updated on all the proposed changes. So.
Brandon, do
Yep.
we have some right-of-way issues back there, over there?
Yeah, well, right away was kind of one of the things that kind of popped up and, spurred some of these changes, mainly around, the I-10, 415 intersection. That area was one of them. But there, there's a couple things going on.
Yeah, I've heard some stuff on it, and my question is, I'm leading up to something, I guess. We spent a lot of money back there to get to this point. And these right-of-way issues, that my understanding could be detrimental to the project. And if that's the case, it'd be nice to get some answers on it, to know what, to stop spending money if this thing's not gonna happen.
I think basically all the things that they're looking at right now is to get rid of those right-of-way issues. I would say that the estimated right-of-way that we currently have, which I think is 4 or 5 million for the project, probably won't hold at that number and increase slightly. But I guess if you can lower your construction costs over the overall project and kind of balance it out, it works out that way. But basically, the alternatives that they're looking at now are to reduce those impacts. And, we've been told that, they're doing this process of doing the quantities and this, alternative look to minimize time and everything, because they want to get it done and all that. That's been reiterated to me over and over again, but I also understand the,
But just, I get your point, and I know this is not you doing any of this, and I get that. But, to me, it's time to get the ball rolling on this project. We've been hearing about it for a long time, and I know the ball's not completely in our hands, or really not in our hands, but it's time to really say, can we do this project or not? In my book, I mean, what I heard, and I'm not going to get into it, but I just want to know that that's not something that's going to kill the project, and we are going forward. We're spending money, and if we're spending money, we need to at least have a pretty good idea that we're going to be able to get this project done.
Got something, Jason?
Just for everyone's sake here, we haven't spent any local dollars. We've dedicated money for things like that we haven't spent yet, nor will we spend until it's a valid project that they're ready to build and construct on. But to your comments, couldn't agree with you more. Last Thursday, Senator Clyde Peter, myself, Brandon, the Secretary of DOTD, and Rick Ward, who was the one that originally had the dollars actually allocated from the BP oil spill for this project, all on the phone together. And our main thing that we were pointing was a sense of urgency, and that we have already been through at least four different project managers, and it seems like every time we go through there's a learning curve, and they come up with potential new ideas and new ways to do things. And my only point was, I think just about everything has been explored through 4 different project managers. It's time to keep moving this thing forward. And he agreed, Secretary of the Day agreed, and said he would get a handle on it, and we will continue to push this project forward, and that shouldn't cause any time delays, because they were still progressing at the same pace on the current design plan that they had. So, but I agree with you totally. It's time to start seeing shovels in the ground.
Yeah, and I guess just to tack onto that, obviously you can't look at every single alternative, because you can always come up with something, everybody can throw something at the wall and hope it sticks. I think that was kind of our sentiment of basically, if it's a minor change, or, if it saves you $1 million, but it pushes everything 6 months, and, prices continue to go up and everything, is it really worth doing all this rework and engineering costs, because you still have to pay for all that? So, that was kind of some of the things we kind of relayed in our meetings.
Just keep us updated.
Yeah, yeah.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You and Jason both, I guess.
Okay. All right, we're good? That's it, Jason? All right. Moving to item 8, public comments. These are general public comments that are not agenda items. Anyone from the public would like to speak at this time? Anyone from the public? If we have none, did you have something?
I would like to say something. My name is Dorothy.
Come up to the mic, state your name for the record. Miss Dorothy,
Yes,
you
sir.
got
My name
3
is-
minutes to speak, okay?
Oh, okay.
Go right ahead.
I don't know if this is pertaining to, but on Lafferton Street, close by Highway 415, they have some, what I call boxes, but it's not. I don't know what's inside of it, if it's harmful or what, I don't know. But I saw signs on 415. I don't know if that's pertaining to that or what.
We actually have an agenda item on that tonight. It's actually 16, item 16A. We're gonna discuss that at that time if you wanna stay
Okay.
and hear what we got to talk
That's
about.
all I wanted.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Ma'am, just one thing to answer your question. They're storage boxes, but there's nothing stored in them on site. They're for taking to sites and renting out.
Oh, okay, nothing.
There's nothing stored in them, no ma'am, not on site, no ma'am.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
all right, thank you. Anyone else from the public?
Oh, I'm sorry, one more thing. You know, like when they
Come up, you have to come up, because we video it, we need to have you on record. There you go.
You know, like when they have these hurricanes, you don't know when they come or this, that, and the other, but like, they have, anytime hurricane can turn over 18 wellers and all that, but those boxes that are there, if
Okay.
it hit on Lobdell, can it block the road from coming on?
That is one
415?
thing we're gonna discuss. it
We will
later.
discuss all that. We're gonna get specifically on that item.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
16A.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Okay, we're gonna move forward now. Moving to item 9, communication with council members and or elected or appointed officials. Go ahead there, Chance.
I'm gonna go first real quick.
Absolutely.
Just some reminders for you and then one item I want to discuss real quick. Next meeting, October 9th, you'll be getting your budget books. Don't be alarmed when it's a little different this year. I'm trying something a little new. Instead of having them all in those binders, the books and all the dividers and all that, it's gonna come kind of like you get them at the meetings, in a clip, in a slide format. Reason being, we always have revisions, pages need to get changed in and out. So you'll get the final pretty version at the very end when you finalize it. So you'll have that going in 2026. Reminder, the budget meetings, the presentation is October 27th and 28th. That is a Monday and Tuesday this year, not a Tuesday and Wednesday like previous years. Okay, and the last item, so with everything going on at the jails, the sheriff approached us asking about making a capital purchase out of the jail fund for some full body scanners. Estimated about $211,000. Obviously, at this price, it had to be bid out. So Iberville is actually going out for bid October 6th on one of these, and we're going to attempt to piggyback on that. So obviously, don't know the price on it just yet. So you'll be seeing a budget amendment in the next 2 or 3 meetings coming for you for that. So I'll have more information on October 6th whenever it's opened. But that's all I got.
Okay, thank you. Philip?
This is just my little report I give you guys. You have copies in front of you on ongoing projects by Rouge and Drainage. And I'm gonna tackle Rouge tonight first, simply because it's on top. The tractor crews for the road department, they're completing their 4th passes. There's a possibility they could get to a 5th pass. Some areas have already had 5th passes, or 4th and going on 5, depending on the weather. They also cut grass on Section Road, Bush Road, and Flynn Road again, because they were in those areas, and on the way out, they caught them one more time. They spraying all the roads, falling behind the tractors. We helped the city of Port Allen with a few patch projects because they really didn't have the expertise or the people on staff could do it. It was just little simple road cuts with culverts that we went ahead and patched up for them. The roads department is helping with the pickleball course. We agreed we'd do the site work, so they're over there now doing the dirt work on those sites. We replaced driveways on Pecan Grove, Court Street, and Edmonton Avenue. They blew out culverts on Riverside, American Way, Pecan Grove Road, and Woodland Courts. They're constantly repairing catch basins also. future projects. I'll let you read all that. Under road overlays, I completed all the first round of overlays, and tonight I'm gonna have an amendment to where we'd like to add a piece of a road in. So you'll see that later in the agenda. Under drainage, they completed the excavations of the North Woodland Ditch, the digging on LeBeau Ditch, Antonio Subdivision Ditch, the Moot ditch along Moot's Trailer Park. I don't know if you noticed, but the concrete ditches under the interstate, we cleaned all those out. They dug out the ditch along Triple B Ranch Road. They installed the culverts on CO Valley, and they dug out the west side of Andre Lane. Still have ongoing projects, and again, I'll let you read this on your own time, because I know we got a long meeting tonight. But kudos to our guys; they're doing a fine job, and we got some of the drainage department here tonight. If you got any questions for them, thank you.
Nothing on the Larry Wood ditch?
No.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Philip. Appreciate it. All right, council members, y'all have anything up? This is your period. You got anything to bring up to the administration?
I got something on administration.
Yeah, go ahead, Kenny.
I know we had talked about the Highway 1 improvement, and that they're supposed to be starting on it. Well, I see them putting down the black tie and stuff in the middle of the road, so that's just very, very temporary, huh?
Yeah, so I talked with somebody from DOTD 2 weeks ago, maybe. They said that the reason for the holdup is with the subgrade of the pavement, they want to use this special kind of foam that you have to inject underneath there, and it needs to be in a certain temperature range. So they told me that they would basically predicting to start end of October, November, because they have to have that temperature range, to let it settle or whatever. So that was the update I was given on the LA1 here.
Okay. Okay, you good, Kenny?
Yeah, I got a constable call me about that road.
Gotcha. Okay, moving to item 10, council meeting on Board of Review to hear any and all protests from taxpayers on the 2025 tax assessments. Item A, appeal to Board of Review for 2025 tax assessment of 1, 6454 Highway 1 South, Bruley, Louisiana 70719 for Signia Enterprise LLC, assessment number 204-700-004600, identified by the WBR assessor as Lot 1, Skyview Acres, continuation of 2.81 acres in Section 22, T8S R12E 47-46, MB 476. Is there anyone here for that? Yes, sir. Come on up. State your name for the record. You'll get 3 minutes to talk, sir.
Lewis, Barcelona. I'm gonna let my sister help pass out some things.
Yes, sir. Go right ahead. Starting after he gets his stuff out. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Go right ahead. State your name again for the record. I'm sorry.
Lewis, Barcelona,
Okay.
Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
All
My
right.
property currently has no road frontage. Frontage road stops just short of the side of our property. The value of our property is also hurt by its narrow width and excessive depth. Our property has been assessed and appraised by comparing it to properties with ample road frontage on 2 streets, and that are wider than what they are deep. In the comparison, no shape utility adjustments were made for our tract's inferior dimensions, and no site improvement adjustments were made for our tract having no road frontage. Recent re-subdividing and development in the area dictates that the rear 1.0 acres of our tract is worth only half as much at most as the front 1.794 acres of the tract. In addition, there should have been a no road frontage adjustment of $150,000 off the appraised value, which is the road cost estimate that I was given. The value by the tax commission's appraisal, which is not credible, less road construction costs and less shape utility adjustment equals $208,650, which is what we asked for our taxes to be lowered to. which is, this number would be even less if we go by the assessed value and not the appraised value. I prepared and signed a buy and sell agreement for $208,650, which is $160,050 less than the appraised value for anyone in this room to purchase it. They can purchase it right now. I've got the appraisal for $160,050. In 2025, our tract was assessed at $133,412 per acre, and the adjoining tract, with all the ideal road frontage and ideal depth, was assessed for less at $129,553 per acre. Clearly, there was no adjustments there by the assessor for dimensions of the tract, and there was no adjustments for our tract having no road frontage. We are being forced to pay taxes on improvements that are not there. Let me repeat, we are being forced to pay taxes on a road which is not there.
Okay, all right. Let me just say, I'll go ahead and make a comment on this item. We certainly are not assessment experts, the council ourselves. So basically, all
I've been an appraiser I've been a realtor for over 40 years. You know.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So I think what we need to do, council, is, as we've done in the past, is go ahead and to uphold what the assessor has assessed the property, and you certainly are doing your appeal that will go to the tax commission, and that's what you can do from here. So, right. So, council, I guess we can raise a motion to do that. To uphold what the assessor has done on his assessment, and it'll go to the tax commission, and y'all can divvy it all up, which, you know.
So your next step will be to go to the tax commission with.
Okay?
Yeah, I'm doing it for last year right now. Yeah.
I hear you, sir.
I guess I'll be doing it for both years.
Okay. So currently have a motion by Mr. Babin, second by Ms. Andre, to go ahead and allow this appeal to go to the tax commission. And any other questions, concerns amongst the council? Y'all have anything? I'm opening the machines to go ahead and vote for approval for that. That motion passed. Thank you, sir, very much. Moving to item B, Board of Review consideration for approval of 2025 tax assessment report. Chris?
Thank you. Chairman, Denstow, council members, Chris Garan, assessor for West Baton Rouge Parish. Just to touch on Mr. Barcelona's appeal request, same property was appealed last year for year 2024. Council deferred further valuation to the tax commission. The appeal was taken there. The appeal was originally set to be heard by the tax commission on September the 10th, this past September the 10th. Mr. Barcelona had requested an continuance. We agreed to a continuance, so the appeal is now scheduled to be heard at the tax commission on Wednesday, October the 8th.
Okay. Thank you for that update. We appreciate it.
Sure. Think you've got maybe 3 or 4 documents in your packet. I think I've got them numbered here to follow your packet numbers. I think if you look on page 20 in the packet, is basically the letter from West Baton Rouge Parish Assessor's Office, spelling out the values that our office is responsible for presenting and getting certified by the Parish Council as a local board of review. The amount that I'm here to request approval on is $789,414,621 for the tax year 2025. If you look on page 21, it's kind of a schedule that we present to you every year. It's basically a comparison between current year 25 and the previous year in 24. If you look up in the top section on the Schedule A, you can see where total values for 25 or $838,946,331. The $49.5 million that you see right above that number is public service values that are determined and presented to our office by the Louisiana Tax Commission. So our office is responsible for valuing real estate, residential, commercial, industrial, vacant land, and all business personal property. Public service is provided by the Louisiana Tax Commission. If you look up at the top in that same section, if you look in the third column where it says increase or decrease, you can see that from a total value standpoint, we are down about $11.35 million in value compared to 2024. If you look under the Schedule B section in the 2025 column, you can see first value says homestead exempt. That's the total value of homestead exemptions that we have on residential properties in West Baton Rouge Parish, where it says taxpayer $781,391,929. That is the net taxable value that property taxes will be levied on in West Baton Rouge for 2025. Everybody always wants to know what's a mill worth, what's a mill going to generate. If you take 10% of that taxpayer number, a mill for 2025 is going to generate close to $781,000 and some change. If you look on the next page, on page 22 and 23, we just give you a little deeper dive into comparisons of values from 25 and 24. I indicated we're down from the previous year about $11.3 million. The kind of some fluctuation and variation all over the board in different property classes. But if you look on page 22, down in the personal property section towards the bottom, the biggest indicator or the biggest thing influencing our reduction in values is we lost $15 million in inventory value from 24 to 25. And I'll just tell you that our inventory values peaked in 2023. We were at like $195 million. So over the last 2 years, we've given up about $30 million in inventory values. Kind of a quick overview. I'd be glad to entertain any questions if anybody has any questions.
Chris, when you say
I'd like to
inventory values, that's
Yes.
like, I'm assuming that's like industry
I
and.
mean, it's anything, Carrie, from groceries and Hubbins to it's sitting in Dow's warehouse
Gotcha,
on North Line Road or on Highway 1.
gotcha.
It can run the gamut.
Okay.
Chris, did we get any good feedback or good participation in the the first responder homestead exemption?
30, we have 32 first responder exemptions active right now. I personally thought it was going to be significantly higher than that.
So
I would expect we'll see some first responders once the tax notices go out that haven't applied. Will be if they come in and make application, we can do a change order for them and grant them a first responder exemption, even though they've not applied at this point right now. But 32 is the number we have right now. So.
Good, thanks.
Yep.
Is that communicated on the tax bill by any chance? Just as in a general form?
That someone has the exemption, or
You qualify as a first responder or whatever, you put any type of language like that?
would it be indicated where?
I don't know, on your tax bill when it goes.
It's not going to show up anywhere on a tax bill. The tax bills list the homestead exemption amounts, for property owners. So I would think that if someone has a first responder exemption, instead of their exemption showing 75,000, it's gonna show 100,000.
Okay.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, every year in January, when the Vision West newsletter goes out, we try and use January to kind of trump and pitch all the different exemptions and things that are available to property owners.
Can that be included in the mailer that you send out with the tax bills? So, on one
I was looking
page?
for a way to communicate it, yeah. That's what I was.
Yeah, I
Like a
think that's,
direct
yeah.
I mean, we've done a ride along in the tax notices a couple times for some other things. I mean, we could
Just
certainly.
because it's new, maybe to bring awareness to
Yeah.
other first responders.
Like I
that-
said, 32, you would assume that it would be higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of, the qualifications for you. You have to live in West Baton Rouge Parish, has to be a public employer, you have to be a full-time employer, full-time employee. So I think we've got, some situations where, some of the staff is not permanent, they're not permanent residents of
West Baton
West
Rouge.
Baton Rouge Parish. But I mean, we've got sheriff's deputies, we've got municipal police officers, we've got, I was surprised kind of by the lack of response we got from the firefighters. We've got people with state police, we've got different, somebody who does security with appellate court judge system. So we got a pretty good cross-section of people that have made the application.
But a lot of these people may live in another parish, and
They
they could be
yeah,
doing it
and
there.
if they live in another parish and they're employed here, then that
Yeah.
disqualifies
But they
them.
can, but they can do it in their parish.
No,
They cannot?
No.
Okay.
no.
Just
No.
Wow.
You have to reside in the
It wasn't
parish,
It
where
wasn't written
you're
exactly,
employed.
but-
Hey man,
but
I didn't
anyway.
write the law, we just trying,
Yeah,
we was trying to
exactly. You
enforce
didn't
it.
write the law.
We was trying to enforce it,
Gotcha.
yeah, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chris, don't they have to qualify every year?
Yes, that's the only exemption we have. So, I mean, once we roll everything out and get into 26, we've got them all flagged. We'll pull the exemptions on everybody, and they'll have to repeat the process annually.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Mr. Walker.
Yeah, Alan, you mentioned about them qualifying each year. We did have the mental health and first aid training at the Sheriff's Posse Building, and we had a number of first responders and firefighters that were there to obtain the CMEs to keep their license active, and a number of individuals from the Sheriff's Office were there also, and we budgeted that money in last year. We had a positive response. Our Parish President, Jason Manola, was there, myself, and the Health Unit Director, Mary Winfield.
Mary.
I didn't have a chance to tell you guys that, but since we're talking about the first responders and the exemption, and you brought that out, Brady, so I just thought I'd mention that also.
Good stuff. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Can
you.
I-
Thank you.
If I can, I'll share this too, just,
Sure.
and we'll try and bring light to this once it happens. In November of next year, November of 26, I think there's already something scheduled on an election ballot. We presently can freeze property values for property owners if they're over age 65, if they have disabilities, subject to an income limitation. Income limitation right now is $100,000. There was legislation in this most recent legislature session that increased that floor amount from $100,000 to $150,000. That'll be that's going to be a constitutional amendment on a November 26 ballot, and probably if there ever was a slam dunk for something to pass, that'll. So anybody who's tried to make application for that and couldn't because their income
limit.
exceeded 100, now it's going to get stepped up to
Gotcha.
150.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Were you good, Chris? You finished with us?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So currently I have a motion by Mr. Crowe, second by Mr. Babin. We'll go ahead and approve your tax report, certify your tax assessment report. If there's no other questions amongst the council, I'm opening the machines, vote for approval.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you,
Thanks,
Mr.
Chris.
That motion passed. Thank you, Chris. Moving to item 11, new business. A, set Halloween trick-or-treat times for the unincorporated areas of West Baton Rouge Parish for Friday, October 31st, from 5:30 PM to 7:30 PM. I think that's pretty straightforward.
I won't be able to do that without Kirk.
Without Kirk? All right. So currently have a motion by Mr. Hotard, second by Mr. Gordon to go ahead and approve Friday, October 31st from trick or treat from 5:30 to 7:30 PM in the unincorporated areas of the parish. Open the machines and vote for approval.
I ain't gonna ask if that's gonna conflict with football games.
That motion passed. Moving to item B, under new business. Consider approval of the mass meeting request of Irvinville Raise Me at the location of 10120 Bush Road, Bush, Louisiana, 70729. Is there somebody here? Yeah, come on up to the podium, ma'am. State y'all name for the record.
LaMonica Butler.
Hey,
Good afternoon, Letitia LaDuff.
okay. Go ahead. Y'all had something y'all want to
Well,
talk about?
it's just actually, our committee is Irvinville Raised Me because we were all raised in Irvinville. And
Absolutely.
it's just like a family day for everybody that was raised in Irvinville. Opinion.
Okay. Michelle, they were all,
Yes, sir. They have passed and turned in all the items. They've got security that's gonna be there. They're not serving alcohol. We've got every office that's signed off. I have talked to the sheriff's office. Everything is good as far as that goes, so
okay.
pretty much just waiting on you guys.
All right, thank y'all very much.
Thank
So
you.
currently I have a motion by Mr. Gordon, second by Ms. Andre to go ahead and approve this item. We'll go ahead and open the machines and vote for approval. That motion passed. Thank y'all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ladies, I want to say thank y'all for coming in and following the process.
Yes,
Yes.
very much so.
Thank you.
Yep, thank y'all very much.
Doing more than anything, yeah.
Okay, moving to item 12. Public hearing on previously introduced ordinances. Item A, an ordinance amending Chapter 104 zoning to incorporate amended zoning designation map zoning plan under Section 104-3, Establishment of Districts, Official Zoning Map Rezoning Request of Martha B. Lawson regarding property located at 9690 Highway 190 West, Port Allen, Louisiana, 70767, file number 2025-23, described by the WBR assessor as Tract J, continuation of 10.93 acres in Section 28 and 29, T6S R11E, part of Swanson property, 14-80, rezoning from C 1.2 community scale commercial to Ag 3 agriculture full scale, and this is a master plan change which takes the supermajority of the council. Go ahead there. This is a public hearing. Go ahead, Brandon, get us going.
Yep, so this is one of the properties that fronts on 190. That C 1.2 is that 300-foot, that goes into the property. The rest is Ag 3. This just makes the entire property Ag 3 for residential use, since we can't allow residential and commercial unless you do the special use or whatnot. So that was basically it. A lot of the properties also Act 3 surrounding them, recommended for approval with a 9-0 vote at P&Z.
Okay, thank you there, Brandon. Again, this is a public hearing. Anyone from the public would like to come up and speak on this item? Anyone from the public? If I have no one from the public, I'm going to close the public hearing, open up discussion to the council. I see Mr. Crowe is on the floor. Go ahead, Mr. Crowe.
Yeah, this is a piece of property that actually is kind of between Catherine and myself. It's, I think, more in her district, but it's been used as residential property for quite some time. They moved a new mobile home on it, and I think that's what sparked them having to come in and have it zoned. But it has been residential for a long time. It just so happens it fronts 190, which is considered commercial property. So
Right.
I just wanted to make that statement and say that I'm gonna raise a motion to approve it.
Okay, so I have a motion by Mr. Crowe, second by Ms. Andre to approve. If there's no other questions, you want to come off the floor? If there's no other questions, concerns amongst the council, I'm opening the machines, vote for approval. That motion passed. Moving to item B. An ordinance to amend and reenact Part 3, Unified Development Code, Chapter 101, General Provisions, Section 101-1, Definitions, Chapter 104, Zoning Ordinance Article 2, District Regulations, Section 104-26, Adoption, Amendment, and Interpretation of Zoning Districts, Section 104-28, Base District Regulations by Zoning Districts, Appendix A, Zoning Districts, Chapter 106, Site Planning, Article 5, Yard Setback, Open Space, and Common Area Requirements, Section 160-126, I-1 Site Development Regulations, Section 106-128, I-3 Site Development Regulations, and Section 106-134, Ag Site Development Regulations of the West Baton Rouge Parish Code of Ordinance. So this is a public hearing. I'll go ahead and open that public hearing up there. Go ahead there, Brandon.
Yep, so for the definitions portion first, we are adding a laydown/staging yard light, essentially giving a tier below our warehouse heavy distribution definition, trying to kind of bridge the gap. We have the truck and heavy equipment rental sales services. This kind of just gives, you know, a median between those two, just trying to kind of have some more land use in the code. Deleting out the livestock keeping, because as y'all can see, we removed the different tiers or levels of ag zoning. Basically just having one ag throughout the parish. I do want to, oh, never mind, I mentioned that. Yeah, doing that, obviously had to go through the appendix and look through every single land use that mentions ag, which took a little bit of time. But, you know, one of the things that kind of sparked this is, you know, a lot of the times for our rezoning in P&Z, we would have Ag 2 zoning down to Ag 1 and so on and so forth, when the only changes is the amount of animals you could keep on the property, when most people had no intentions of putting animals on in the first place. So that was just kind of the genesis, per se, of the change. And yeah, this was recommended for approval with a 9-0 vote.
Okay, approved by the Planning and Zoning.
Yeah.
All right, so this is a public hearing. Anyone from the public would like to speak on this item? Anyone from the public? If I have no one from the public, I'm gonna close the public hearing, open up discussion to the council.
Mr. Chairman, let me.
Sure,
say one thing.
absolutely.
I want to make a note. We do need to go ahead and just put in that motion, line item number 152. We need to just clarify that should be 100 feet. It didn't get fixed before it was introduced, so we just need to clarify that it's 100 feet frontage on line item 152.
We had agreed to 100 at the Planning and Zoning meeting.
The frontage?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Council, y'all have any questions or concerns? Go ahead, Mr. Walker.
Yeah, I had a question for Brandon or either Alan. So you guys mentioned about the livestock, right? So we did have Ag 1, 2, and 3. So explain that to me a little bit better.
So the reasoning that it was originally added is because it was basically we used the zoning to limit the amount of animals you could have.
Right.
Now we have animal control in the code to where basically it's in there twice. It's in zoning and in animal control. So basically, if there ever is an issue where somebody has, 13 cows on an acre and a half, they would, we would reference the animal control and go to animal control for that issue.
Okay.
Instead of having it be
So
like
there
zoning.
is still a law.
Enforcement.
That we
Right.
can enforce if they overdo the animals.
And we'll leave that to that animal control
Exactly.
department within our parish instead
Absolutely.
of doubling down on this in the ordinance.
And
Yeah.
just to add, I think everybody knows this too, we were getting in situations where people were splitting up property and they were having to rezone because they were shifted from, they would have
Ag
to
to ag.
ag to ag.
Okay.
A lot
Yeah.
less.
Yeah, less
We-
red
we-
tape,
We actually learned the
potentially
hard
less
way.
P&Z
Gotcha,
meetings.
gotcha.
We learned the hard way. We attacked one thing and it gave us another issue. So now we got,
Right.
this ought to straighten it all out.
All right, and then there was that question about the frontage. What was it? Was it the lot size?
So there's part of the code where you can have multiple residents on one tract, but you have to have 22,500 square feet of land per residence with a max of 4. In that code, you have to have 150 feet of frontage to achieve that. So we kind of threw out the idea of, well, do you want to change that with the ags? But then the minimum for ags currently is 100-foot minimum width. So there's no point to kind of expand that when people may already be set up with 100-foot. I mean, I know one from P&Z a couple weeks ago around Bayou Stumpy where they had 100-foot as frontage for each one. So now you basically take them out of compliance and, you know.
Okay, so then there was that question about the Department of Health and Hospitals with the lot size that I was listening to in the meeting?
Yeah, that was the 150 that's
Right.
in that separate part of the code. That's where it came from, Department of Health and Hospital. So
22.5, not 21.78 on the lot size.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
Basically what this does, when we first started out with this path 4 or 5 years ago, there was a minimum of 2 acres in ag. You could only be 2 acres, but that was a minimum you could be. But we had a lot of agricultural lots out in the country that were much smaller than that.
Mm-hmm.
So we tried to give it to where you could have animals on a smaller lot.
Mm-hmm.
So we went the route of having multiple ag zonings.
Right.
So then what we ended up having was a bunch of rezonings from ag to ag.
I remember.
So now we're allowing ag be one zoning, but it's gonna be determined by the size of the lot, what you're allowed to have on that property.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not gonna be all these rezonings, which we'll have to see.
Right.
Or which people will have to come in and pay to do.
Pay to
Right.
Just makes it better for all of them.
Everybody.
But then it also restricts it to where you can't have a half-acre lot with 10 horses on it.
Right.
That-
At the
that's
same time.
determined by the VHS.
At the
That's
same
fine.
time.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
Right.
by animal control.
About animal
Right.
control.
Thank you, Alan. Thank
Okay.
you, Brandon.
Got it?
Yo, absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you, Adley. You come down, Adley. All right. So currently, I have a motion by Mr. Hotard, second by Mr. Gordon to approve
with 100 feet minimum.
with the
lot width.
line item 152, 100 feet frontage. Correct. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and open the machines and vote for approval. That motion passed. Moving to item 13, consider status report, change order, and/or other matters as required on current projects. Item 8, consider change order for 2025 asphalt road rehab program for Rebel Lane. Go ahead there. Philip.
Members of the council, this is one we discovered after a couple constituents have been calling us about it, and we've had complaints where Rebel Lane meets up against Lakeshore Drive subdivision, and we've tried repairing it many times. There's failures along the road as you go down, and there's failures already at the end of the road. So we decided, well, let's just go ahead and add it. Since we had a good price on our overlays, we're under on our overlays, let's go ahead and add this one in and get it taken care of. And that's what we're here tonight to ask for.
I don't think it's a very long piece. It's
No,
kinda- It's kind of short.
Yeah.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. It is bad.
Yeah.
Okay,
I agree.
that's kind of meets all of us three's districts. I think it's actually yours, Ms. Kaplan.
It is now.
Yeah. All right, I have a motion by Mr. Babin, second by Mr. Andre to go ahead and approve this change order on the asphalt road rehabilitation program. I'll open the machines, vote for approval. That motion passed. Moving to 14, resolutions. Item A, a resolution to authorize the parish president to execute the entity-state agreements between the parish of West Baton Rouge and Louisiana Department of Transportation for funding and responsibility of sidewalk project, state project number H 014944, multi-use path and sidewalks, Phase 1, Court Street. Go ahead there, Brandon.
Yep, so this is just for Court Street. We already had it with DOTD. We went through the route of phasing it out to kind of get to the construction of the sidewalks along Court Street in quicker. So since we phased it out, it's basically a new contract with DOTD, so we have to do another resolution. We're at 100% plans, and it's been signed by DOTD chief for letting and everything. There's just some paperwork we need to basically get done to finish, to get to construction.
Okay, all right. So currently I have a motion by Mr. Crowe, second by Mr. Joseph to go ahead and approve this resolution.
Yes.
If there's no other questions or concerns amongst the council, we'll open the machines and vote for approval. That resolution passed. Moving to item B, resolution of the West Baton Rouge Parish Council for the purpose of updating contract for special legal counsel So I'll go ahead and take that real quick. We wanted to update Ms. Canizera and renew her contract. She's been with us now 2 or 3 years. And I think you all saw the contract in the packet. There is a small section that is just got one little small change in it. So I think it's under item 8. So, okay. All right, so I have a motion by Mr. Gordon, second by Mr. Babin to approve, Mr. Gordon.
Yes.
I'm gonna open the machines, vote for approval. That resolution passed. Moving to item 15, introduction of ordinances. Go ahead there, Michelle.
An ordinance to amend and reenact the West Baton Rouge Parish Code of Ordinances, Part 3, Unified Development Code, Chapter 101, General Provisions, Section 101-1, Definitions, and Chapter 105, Subdivisions, Article 2, Minimum Design Standards, Section 105-40, Improvements, Public hearing date October 9th, 2025.
All right, moving to item 16, consider subdivision plats, condemnations, waivers, and matters related thereto. Item A, consider variance application for Workbox LLC at 2160 Lobdell Highway, Port Allen, Louisiana, 70767, requesting site plan variances on setbacks and height restrictions. Is there somebody here to represent this item? Come on up to the podium, sir. State your name for the record.
Good afternoon. My name is Martin Padial. I'm the owner of Workbox. Address is 2160 Laffington Lane. Been in the parish for almost 20 years. Have had great relationships with everybody here from the parish through the sheriff's office, and we've enjoyed being here. We were applying for 2 hardships, the height variance. The shipping containers are 8 feet tall, and so when we stack them, it makes it 16 feet, so we've, I guess, in violation of that by a foot. The site is kind of awkward shaped, it's kind of like a triangle, so we've also requested for setbacks on Lobdell from 30 feet to 10 feet, and on the, I don't know, the Laffington Lane and Plantation, I think, are the other 2.
Plantation Loop.
Yeah, from, what's that?
Plantation Loop.
Oh, Plantation Loop, thank you. And, but I appreciate everybody being here and listening to it, and if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them for you.
Okay. Council, y'all have anything?
What is the definition of a hardship?
You want to leave
Miss,
it?
yeah, Ms. Canizera, can you help us out
On
with
the
that?
code?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I have a moment? Sure. I want to accurately.
I would give you a general studies definition, I think. We were on Commercial Drive at 2099 Commercial Drive for about 19 years. We sold 2 divisions of the business, and that was like an overflow yard for us. So we figured we could operate that 1 division because it was much smaller than all 3 put together. I'd say the hardship is just the shape of the property. If it was perfectly square, it'd be a lot easier to use than in the condition it is today.
So how high do you want to go up? I mean, because you
To
already
16.
You're just gonna
Just
double
another
stack it.
Pardon me?
You're just gonna do the double stack?
Right, so we had an agreement with the parish before where we could only stack on that front on Lobdell. And in the process, we were stacking, we were getting stuck every other day with our forklift just because the site was kind of mucky. So in the process of adding limestone to the site, we violated setbacks and height restrictions just so we could get the work done. We ended up moving about 70% of the inventory to another site, so we finished the work. And I went today and reviewed the site. There's still some double stacked off of the main road, but not nearly like it was before.
How many boxes do you currently store there?
As of today, that's a good question. I want to say there's probably 70 maybe on the yard at most right now.
I'm looking at an overhead right now, and I don't know how old it is. But I'm looking at a whole lot of unused property here that you could use. But again,
Let me show you this.
how new is this?
Mr. Commissioner, look underneath your packet, you have a packet of
Y-
pictures.
Yeah, we got photos, we have photos, we have photos. We got it, we got photos, thank you.
And it varies, you know, it's kind of a seasonal thing. Toward the end of the year, we'll go down to probably 20 or 30 at most. But at times, we do get a bunch back, and we have really not a lot of control over that. And we still have another yard in New Orleans that we use as well.
So you don't use Commercial Drive no more? You still
No,
have it?
so when we sold the business, we sold the land with it. So we just have the shipping container division left, so we
You,
moved
you
that
went
off.
from one size to a little bitty size.
Correct.
Is what you did.
Yeah, we went from
Well,
3 acres to whatever the site is, 2.3, something like that.
okay. I had some residents here that, I don't know if y'all had any, see if you wanted to, you had some questions earlier for the I don't know if you had anything you wanted to say or anything, Ms. Dorothy? I mean, this is that item, if you have a comment you want to make, I'll allow you to do that.
I would like to, find out, you know, like when they have hurricanes be very bad and stuff, would this could be, the hurricane came over, cause like I've said, like an 18
Hey, let's do this. You address the council, and we'll get him, yeah, so you just ask your question, and we'll just pull the mic up and ask you questions, and if I need him to answer, we'll get him to come back up.
Okay, what do you need me to do?
You were about to ask him a question about a hurricane. If there was a hurricane, what did you say?
Yeah, if it was one with the boxes being stacked, do you stack them only in two or?
Correct.
Only in two?
Yes, only.
If they have like a very bad hurricane, which we never know when and where they will come in.
Absolutely not.
And, anytime they can do 18-wheelers and stuff bigger than what these boxes are.
That's a good
Yes, sir.
question.
Okay.
Yeah,
Would
let her finish, and then we'll
it
get you
be
back up.
over, you know, like where people can pass on Lafayette Street? Or even where they located at, even they got trailers there and stuff? Would that be a block on their road? If they have a hurricane, would it blow?
So the
Okay, okay, you come on up. Yeah, because I got to get y'all on record. I got to get y'all on the video
Right.
so we can hear
You
you.
can tell I don't do this very often.
That's okay.
All right, so it's a good question. So we've been in business almost 30 years, and we've never had any fall, but we did have some fall after we sold the business. Waste Pro had bought around 12 boxes. You can see them from the interstate. And we did have a big storm come through, and I think 2 or 3, they didn't fall into the street. They just kind of fell right next to the site right there. So they do have some anchor castings that you have on those chassis where you can anchor them down. And that's what we're doing in the future to make sure that that doesn't happen.
Okay.
Now, if you stack them and you put another row right next to them, they would, a lot less likely that would ever happen. That was a single line, and we had told them to make a double line to avoid that from happening. That's why when you see at the ports, that they have to stack them all next to each other so the wind can't blow.
Okay. Miss Dorothy, I need you to go back to the mic because it's on, it speak to us.
Oh, okay. As we were saying that they don't have anything in it, would they ever consider later on putting something in it? And then would want nothing, you know, dangerous or harmful?
Right, okay.
into it.
All right.
That's it.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Chairman, if I could
Yes,
address
go
Ms.
ahead. Go
Andres'
ahead, Ms.
question
Canizero.
regarding hardship. So, I haven't been able to find a definition of hardship for this section in which you're looking for. However, I believe that the best definition would be in the variance request, the reasoning for their request. The applicant must demonstrate that special conditions or circumstances exist regarding the land or the structure or the building, which could include size, shape, topography, or location surrounding of the subject property. I think the key here is that it's applicable when it would not be applicable to other lands within the same zoning area, and it cannot be caused by like the special condition or circumstance cannot result from the actions of the applicant. And then the additional consideration that the council would need to utilize is that whether or not the granting of this variance is going to be detrimental to public welfare or injurious to other property or improvements based on where the property is located. So you are considering, as he said, perhaps the size or the shape of the property, but you're also considering its location, the zone, and whether or not these circumstances exist on other properties in that type of area.
And also if it was self-created?
Correct.
Got it.
Correct.
Does that answer the question
Yes, ma'am.
sufficiently?
Yep.
And then also, I would just like to point out on this matter that the variance application has addressed some double stacking issues and the size and location of the property. I just want to make the council aware that I have become aware that there was a consent judgment back in January of 2016 regarding this property, which allowed a maximum container size on the property of 110 containers, not to exceed a maximum of 110 containers on that property location. They are not permitted, per the consent judgment, to double stack units except for 2 units facing the Lobdell entrance or road for advertisement information, being that the second unit stacked should have the advertisement information. Additionally, they had until April 1st of 2016 to place a 6-foot high metal or aluminum fence with green slats facing the Lobdell and junctioning areas to Lobdell, and then they were to utilize units to enclose any boundary spacing outside of those areas. To my knowledge, from our last court appearances, that fence does not exist, and they have not necessarily adhered to the consent judgment since 2016. So that may be something to consider in additional variance requests.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Canizera. So currently, I got Mr. Crowe on the floor. You go ahead. Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah. We had a similar situation to this from a standpoint that when sometimes a business just gets too large for the piece of property they're on. And I feel like that's what we got here. They want to stack ditches in the servitude. Stack canister, sea cans in the servitude. They want to double stack them, which to me is a safety hazard. It's a safety hazard from the standpoint that there is a possibility in a storm that they could blow into the property around it. They could blow into the road onto a vehicle. So it's the double stacking, and it also blocks view coming on the roads all the way around it. We turned the guy down that came in that wanted to increase the size of his property that had been where he was at for well over 20 years because his business is just getting too big for the property. And that's not a hardship. That's self-created. It's self-created by overusing the property. You need the business outgrowing the property. And to me, that's not a hardship. It's not a hardship to ask to be able to stack boxes in the servitude because you're trying to do more business on the property than the property allows. And so my stand is I'm gonna raise a motion to deny this request based on what I just stated.
Okay. So let me go ahead. I want to make a comment because actually, Mr. Walker, I'm gonna let you speak. This is in my district, and I have had many complaints. Actually, even when I was running for this seat 6 years ago, many complaints about this site and how many boxes were on it and where they're located. This picture right here, I just want to say just yesterday during the rain, I rode by here to go to my mother-in-law's house who lives on Plantation Loop. And as you can see, these things are stacked in the servitude. You can see where the white line is, where the stop sign is, where your car actually has to stop. If you go to the previous one, you cannot even see to the right. It's pure clear right here. This is exactly how it is today, unless he moved it today. It was how it was yesterday. And this is, and I want to just say, Miss Dorothy Kolar, I appreciate you coming. I had no idea you were going to be here. You raised some very good questions. This has always been a concern for me for safety. You brought up hurricanes. I can tell you this, we all know the high straight line winds that we had, a year ago, Miss Catherine, that come through Irvinville that were 80 plus miles an hour. It wasn't a hurricane, but it was like a hurricane. It came through here. I live not far from here. I guarantee you we had 60 to 70 mile an hour winds in this area. And it's, to me, it's just a safety concern, so I agree with Mr. Crowe on this. Also, I have 2 letters that I'd like our clerk, Michelle, to read from members of the administration that have given their opinion on this, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir. When we do these waivers, we also ask our superintendents and some of our officials to go through and sign off on them, just to make sure, there's no drainage concerns, road concerns. We do have Mr. Brandenburg on, our Chief Public Works Director and Chief Building Inspector. He sent us a letter, as well as Mr. John Andre, our Road Superintendent, and I want to go ahead and read those into the record for you guys.
Please.
Just so that we'll be on record that,
Please.
what the thoughts are. Council members, as the Chief Building Official of Parish of West Baton Rouge, I write to formally object to the requested variances related to the property located at 2160 Lobdell Highway, Port Allen, Louisiana, which is currently being used for open-air storage of shipping and storage containers. According to the West Baton Rouge Parish Code, this type of use, classified as warehouse storage and distribution heavy, is permitted only within areas zoned I-2, moderate industrial districts. This subject property, however, is currently zoned C 1.2 commercial scale development, commercial district, a district that does not permit open-air storage either as a permitted or special use. Despite this zoning restriction, the business has continued operation due to a judgment issued in 2016, which allows open-air storage activity to proceed under the current zoning. This has effectively granted the property a legal non-conforming use status limited to the parameters defined by the court ruling. That's Mr. Brandenburg on. Then we have, dear Commissioners and Council members, I write to formally object to the requested variance allowing containers to be stacked too high and reducing the setbacks from the required 30 feet to 10 feet on the subject property, 2160 Lobdell Highway, Port Allen, Louisiana, 70767. The safety concerns: number 1, impaired visibility at the stop sign. Upon visiting the site, I observed that the double-stacked containers and their proximity with the 10-foot setback significantly obstruct sight lines, sight triangle at the stop sign on Plantation Avenue Loop. This presents a serious hazard to both motorists and pedestrians. 2, public safety risks. The reduced setback amplifies the risk of accidents by limiting drivers' ability to see oncoming traffic, particularly at a critical juncture controlled by a stop sign. Sincerely, Mr. John Andre, Road Superintendent.
Okay. Hang on, Mr. Patio, I'll let you speak. Mr. Walker, you got the floor. And
Yeah,
go
I'm ahead.
ahead.
Not going to be long, guys. I was going to mention the points that Michelle brought out in reading that letter into the record, and it's a public safety issue. It's a risk, and then you guys are non-conforming, and you've been that way since 2016. So I would agree what our parish administrators are saying and what Chairperson Densel and Vice Chair Crowe said there. So that's the reason why I second that motion. I'm really big on public safety. I've had a lot of growth in my district, and so we want to do things to protect the residents that live in those areas and the motorists that are traveling on our parish and state highways. So that's the reason why I'm going to supporting this motion to deny.
And let me just say, Mr. Walker, let me add to what you're saying. Everything else around that is residential.
Right.
Everything. You got a trailer park on both sides. It's all residential right in that area. So
we've had similar issues in my district, which is now your district. A few things going on.
Go ahead. You had something, Mr. Patio? I'll let you go ahead and speak on it. Go ahead.
Thank you. Just a couple of items. You had mentioned the fence is not there. The fence is there on the front of the property and has been, with the slats exactly the way the code or the cooperative endeavor agreement states.
Look on this picture, Kristen, you can see it. It's just got overgrown bushes and stuff in front of it, but you can
Correct.
see it on this picture right here where the...
It's on the, it's
Lobdell.
facing Lobdell, but
That's
it's
it.
not
That's
on
right.
the adjoining boundaries, which the consent judgment requires it to be in both locations.
The way I understood it was just on the front.
I thought she was correct. I thought it was supposed to be in other parts of it too.
It is on all parts facing and adjoining to Livedale, so it would be on 3 of the 4
The way
corners of the square.
The way I understood it, I think the document was you and Mike, or the parish, came up with that verbiage, was the frontage had to be blocked with the fence, the other boundaries were gonna be blocked by the containers.
It's 2 separate line items on the consent judgment. I was not present in 2016. I can just read what's in black and white on the consent judgment
so
that is signed
for
and
that,
dated
that's how I
for
understood it.
2016.
We may have
Okay.
understood it wrong, anyway.
Okay.
Secondly, we also, before we got to this point, I was, tried, as I'm also a broker of real estate in Baton Rouge, and I called a few of the councilmen, explained what we were doing, because I know a lot of times if you come to a meeting and you're unaware of what's going on, it's hard to understand. So I gave a lot of the background. I was told we haven't had hardly any complaints, and what you're doing on the site looks great. Now, I agree they're crossing the line of the boundaries, but if they weren't crossing the line of the boundaries moving forward, would that still be a problem in y'all's view?
Again, to address Ms. Andre and to clarify Mr. Hoodhurst's comment, additionally, the purpose of the variance is not based exclusively upon a desire to serve the convenience or the profit of the property owner or other interested parties. It should only be considered when the strict adherence to the regulation of the property would be detrimental.
Okay.
I understand that. And the only other item I was gonna say is previous to 24, we never had more than 30 units on the property. It was an overflow yard. The bulk of the units were on the other side.
Go ahead. You have the floor. Go ahead.
That kind of speaks to the point of it not being a hardship. The original purpose of this yard was an overflow yard, not to be used as the main yard, which is currently being used
Exactly.
for, right?
Right.
After you sold the property and then you changed the use of what this was originally, that seems to be self-created, in my opinion, which would not really
understand that.
follow the hardship definition.
Yeah, I understand that.
That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, I
Okay.
understand it.
All right. Well, we're gonna move forward. So I have a motion by Mr. Crowe, second by Mr. Walker to deny these variances. And if there's no other discussion amongst council, I'm opening the machines to your voting to deny. Yes vote denied. That motion passed. Okay, moving to item 17, alcohol permits. A, consider approval of MMA Express Incorporated, DBA MMA Express, located at 1521 Highway 190 East, Port Allen, Louisiana, 70767, Class B liquor license. Michelle, you have something on anything on that?
Yes, sir. This particular location, just to let you guys know, they have met all the requirements that we have for a liquor license at this location. This location was, had previously been under, the 1-year limitation. This is the one where we had to actually revoke the alcohol license from this property. So they have passed the 1-year limitation, and, it's currently owned by the same person. However, this is a different leaser, who has signed the lease. So, just wanted to let you guys know where the location was. I know you'd be familiar with it that way, but they have met all the rest of the requirements of, yes, yes.
Snappies. Well, it used to be,
It
used to be those Snappies, sorry.
Old Snappies.
And the applicant is here in case you have any questions.
Okay.
I'd like to speak to.
If y'all would. Do y'all have anything you'd like to say, or you don't? Okay, you don't have to. All right. Go ahead, Deb, Mr. Crowe.
As you heard Michelle, our council clerk there, speak as with the problems we've had in the past, and we know it's the same owner. We have revoked the license from this business in the past. We know you're new owners to the business. We can revoke this license again if it becomes necessary. I don't intend that to say that in a negative way. We want good business in the parish, and we want you to be good business. And but there's a lot of history there, and we want that to change. So I just want to make that stated before we get into any deeper discussion, because we have had some issues in the past there.
Okay,
I'll raise a motion.
all right. Mr. Gordon, you have something you'd like to, floor?
You said they had,
Alan, come down off the floor for me, please.
you said they allowed all the papers that necessary for everything.
Yes.
Okay.
He has went through the whole process and filed everything he needs, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Good, Mr. Gordon? All right, so I have a motion by Mr. Crowe, second by Mr. Babin to approve.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we'll go ahead and vote on this matter to approve this liquor license. I'll open the machines and vote for approval. That motion passed. Moving to item 18, correspondence report. Michelle.
Yes, sir. Our correspondence is the next planning and zoning meeting is set for Tuesday, October 7th at 5:30. And the next council meeting will be Thursday, October 9th at 5:30.
All right, thank you, Michelle. And I have a motion by Mr. Hotard to adjourn, only because he didn't have any competition.
Mr. Doe tonight, but he always says how.
What y'all doing, Brady? Y'all flying up there? Y'all flying up there? Oh, yeah. Leave tomorrow. Y'all have a good time.
I never heard seen so many vacations and all. I grew up on it.
Tell them.